Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U Clutch Key, helping to bring you those top plays, so let's get things started. In Valorant, it's the Loyola Maryland Greyhounds taking on the Army West Point Black Knights, taken to map number 1 on Icebox, and the Greyhounds winning the pistol round, so it's looking good for them to go up 10-4, but with the Marshal, it's MIB Police from the Black Knights on the case.
At the same time, but that opportunity won't be afforded. D-Sung, though, could turn this into a rifle, potentially more. MIB Police from the Raptors doing work with the Marshal and might even present a greater threat. Jumping down with the classic, turn into a right-click hero. A Marshal in hand, and MIB Police secures a 4K. Force round be damned.
A heroic play from MIB Police, but it would be the Black Knights taking Icebox and winning the series 2-0. Let's go to Rocket League with the St. Lawrence Saints and the Bengals of Buffalo State. Down by 1 in game number 3, and the Bengals are looking for that equalizer in the final minute of the game. Luckily, Jesco decides that, yeah, overtime is probably a good thing going into the last minute.
It's hard in order to even think about getting an insurance goal here.
Oh boy, it does feel like SLU as well, just trying to play survival mode. No, maybe they're thriving instead. A good bouncer from Elmo Fingers does get past one defender. Turks moving this across the width of the field. The pinch, finding the midfield here. Good catch from Jesco, putting a shot on target as well. Jesco!
Overtime, it would go in game number 3, and actually the Saints would win overtime, but as for the series, it would be all Buffalo State taking the dub 4-1. Overwatch 2 action with the Great Danes of Albany and the Spartans of UNC Greensboro. Third map on Havana, and the Great Danes want to cap first point in just under a minute. But Magix has a trick up their sleeve, and in fact, they might have more than one.
Out of here, they want to get that kill, and they're doing it. Jesse, they are doing it. Now Magix is back on the field. Lobs Nick's head, oh my god! Showing Volks in the business end of that too. The payload is still being contested, and it's all, oh my.
Not only is Magix won a sniper, but the Spartans had a one of their own in the form of a broom, as the Spartans would go on to win the series 3-0. To League of Legends, where the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern take on the Dukes of James Madison. 12th minute in game number 2, and the Polar Bears want their second dragon. On the Kiana, though, Shomi is about to show us what robbery on the Rift looks like.
Great rotation onto this. They got the first dragon. They are likely to pick up the second here, and the Shomi can somehow make this work.
Well, they're trying, and over the wall, they got a ward and said snipe. And the steal! The steal from Shomi said you only...
Dragon stolen, and evenly, the Polar Bears also got that stolen away. In the end, Dukes would come out with the dub 2-0. Let's head to Overwatch 2 action with the Aggies of Utah State taking on the Rams of Colorado State. Down a map on Nepal, and the Rams need to make some sort of comeback to force map 3. Well, a crazy team fight leads up to why Death Trap lives up to the tag.
You're going to be in a great position. This Dragon Strike might be able to create some separation. But Cass is just taking heads.
Cass rolls the head of the finish right now. There's the Terror Search. Is he going to find anything? Is the question. Immortality Butte happened to be used. This Death Trap finds a triple. Oh my goodness. Death Trap finds a fourth. He's going to find the team kill. It's now the Rams would force map number 3, but the Aggies were too strong for the rest of the contest, and the Utah State Aggies get the sweep 3-0. To Summoner's Rift in League, where the Aztecs of San Diego State take on the Spartans of San Jose State. Game 1, and all the advantages to the Aztecs 30 minutes in, and Devour on the Caitlyn makes sure it stays that way to march to the base.
Half health. Actually, with the Chaos Storm dropped as well, that might be the go button as everyone follows the rock, and it's not going to be enough off the outset. Goku shut down in the back line, and it's all falling apart for this fight that San Jose chose to take. The ADCs are all together. Piao picked up a kill on the backside. Tabula Rasa's surviving forever. Eventually,
the Aztecs would go on to win game number 1, but something clicks in the Spartans, and San Jose would win the series 2-1. To Valorant with Andromeda taking on the University of Houston Scarlet team. Map number 2 on Fracture, and Andromeda wants to push A site, but Binko is sitting around the corner, and even with little to no utility, Binko just finds a way to make heads roll.
1-for-1 trade, make it 1-for-2 as Slorth takes down Altier, trying to trade for Orchid. Binko now trapped in a corner. They're shooting out the Prowlers, and there's not a lot of places that Binko can go, but now only Slorth being the one peeking. Oh, Binko, what was that?
Binko calls bingo on the ace, and it would be Houston who calls game on Fracture as they win the series 2-0.
To come through, it's just playing aimbot.
And that's it from Top Plays of the Week from Esports U. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, this is Clutch Key signing off.
I can't say that. I'll get in trouble. There's one for each game, so teams this weekend, somebody's going to have to explain to TSA why they're coming home with an extra trophy. Fine. We're fine. This is going to be great. Why is everybody staring at me? I'm not even doing anything yet. Is it because I'm in a suit? It looks nice. It's new. I'm stressing. It's all right. We win these. We absolutely win these. I've never seen us lose these. I love him. I don't remember his name. What is going on, everybody? And oh, are we ready? I'll start over. Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. The players are just now entering the arena for day one. A lot of them had the opportunity to be here yesterday to get jerseys, to get familiar with the area, and to get to know one another. But today, the friendly gloves have to come off, and they are all here. Earlier, I was talking to these guys. This mannequin, when they didn't have anything else set up, I could see it from all the way down there, and I thought it was a person. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, why is he standing like that? And I thought it was like a smooth criminal. I thought somebody was giving us like a Michael Jackson impression, and then it was a mannequin. I was really embarrassed to admit that. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Hold on, let's go over this window. Let's go over this window. It just keeps going. There's so many people outside. There are so many people outside. We're gonna interview people when they come in. I don't really want to go outside. It looks like it's gonna rain, and the suit is new, so. Oh, there's Doc Haskell. Hi, Doc, how are you? He brings a full notebook with him and like writes notes down. It was pretty insane. He had it yesterday. He's gonna be coming through this metal detector right here. I don't know his name though, but I recognize his hair.
Jen.
You're Jen? All right, we're gonna interview Jen, who's supporting Kennesaw. I'm gonna ask you like a couple of very simple questions. Okay, are we ready? All right, great. College. I really like Georgia College's color scheme. It's just red, white, and blue, I think, but I think they did it in a really clever way. Mineral area wearing hoodies, even though it is 75 degrees outside here in Atlanta, Georgia. Absolute legends.
If only Nick could hear you. Nick, come back.
If he's over 100 feet away, he can't.
You were whispering something, and he started smiling. I'm like, are you whispering?
Oh yeah, because he's got his headphone in if we're close enough. But
bless you.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit again. You're welcome. I'm gonna go find him. Oh, there he is. Oh my. Oh, okay. Real stuff is starting. Real stuff. Competitive integrity needs to be upheld. We gotta get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. I get really embarrassed when I get yelled at.
30 is
Okay. Wow, it's not 10:30 yet.
It's only barely 10.
Woo! All right, it's gonna be a long. Hey, what's up? Surprise interview. Join me over here. We have a cool backdrop. What are we here for?
Rocket League.
Awesome. I'm not going to ask what school you go to because unless you swapped hoodies, that seems pretty clear.
Nope. You know, I got my jersey on with my name on it.
Oh, you do? Show us your jersey. Look at John T. Turbo here.
Yeah,
That's not his name. I just keep calling him that.
Yeah.
His name is John, but
my name is John Turbesi.
Yeah,
that's
not John T. Turbo.
Yeah, I get the message that I'm going to Nebraska where I met you.
Oh, that's so crazy. So context, if we're probably not going to use this, but I want to talk about it. Turbo and I met at a LAN like over a year ago. That's so crazy. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. I am Sebdolence, joined by a man I have interviewed probably well over 10 times. It's going to be my good friend Neb here from Bay State Overwatch team. Neb looked at me before he started his last series, and he said, "We are not dropping a map for the rest of the day." And so far, he has lived up to that title. But Neb, is there anybody you're thinking, we've got to get them out of the way, we've got to take them down?
No.
No? Just looking at it, each fight's its own, every game, going into it, just taking it as it comes?
I have the confidence right now that we're not going to drop a single map.
I love Neb because not only is he confident, but he's correct. Bay State is one of the best Overwatch teams I've ever seen. So it's always good to hear. I love the confidence, and I love Bay State, so I hope they do a great job this weekend. So what qualifier, did you win a qualifier to get here?
At large bid.
We're looking at Rocket League, we're thinking high odds, low odds, where do we think we're walking away?
I think pretty high. I think we're doing pretty good.
Is there anybody that you're looking at, you're like, please do not let us go up against them unless we absolutely have to?
I mean, really, everybody's good competition, so.
And sorry, what was your name?
Ethan.
Ethan from Mineral Area.
Yep.
Very exciting. Well, Ethan, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. What kind of pass? A player pass?
Let me get you a lanyard.
No, you actually have to like tape it to your chest, like really awkwardly with masking tape. Okay. And it's gonna fall off. Yeah. It's gonna be uncomfortable, I promise. That's a guarantee. Okay, cut that, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, good. I'm great, everything's good.
Who do we interview? Who should we interview?
I don't know, I'm just here. I need caffeine. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Sebdolence, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct tight angles make it tough. You have Axeris that actually gets a wall bang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. It's a lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're going to spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, Sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit of Pink, getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That Claw could have been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into the stage spike, and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy! Dripsy connects off the backboard! What a shot! I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1, Spec just finds 3. What? Spraying through the smoke? Oh, 1 Spec, that's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. He's gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing a stock right now for Concord would be really bad. And, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact,
is that we don't have these preconceived notions, and we're willing to listen to our membership and read the room, read college athletics and how it's connected and how it's not, and take what we have expertise in championships, but also throw out some of the other stuff. I remember when we first started, there were some conferences were applying their amateurism rules to all of their esports competitors, and I think we knew enough to know that no, that's not going to work in an esports culture. It's got to be very different. And by the way, the NCAA was going in a different direction. You could see that Train had already left the station on that, and so it's an incredibly dynamic area and ever changing and will continue to change. And just as we didn't know when we started what it's going to be looking like, I think similarly, we still don't know what it's going to be in another 5 years. I know enough to know that all of us are still going to have a thriving esports program that's doing a real good service for our members and for our competitors. But we still don't know necessarily what some of that is going to look like. And that's pretty cool about it all. Let me ask you this, because you all are used to, dealing with your athletic directors, and each of them are dealing with what's in front of them in their athletic departments. My guess is at least some of your schools are that this is not necessarily operating within the athletic department. And can you tell?
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. This corner judge is good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Joy Boy just gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Welcome back, everybody. This is it. We are here at the ECAC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Finals. I'm Combo, joined here by the wonderful Soy. And boy, have we got a fantastic match for you guys here today. So, of course, you guys have probably heard of some good teams here in Collegiate Super Smash Bros. A lot of fantastic teams playing through our ECAC. And a name that's rung through the halls of history coming when it comes to this game has been Fisher College. So, unsurprisingly, here back in the finals. But one thing that kind of comes out as a little curious is if you look at both teams competing today, it turns out that they're both from Fisher College. So there are so many implications about what that could possibly mean for the collegiate circuit and how good Fisher is, but the game's already begun, so we're going to be throwing ourselves right into the action. We're going to have all thing. Bird versus Kiwi. Hold up. Wait a second. I'm seeing some funny tag and character shenanigans here. Kiwi traditionally plays Pac-Man, but the tag underneath is MD. And Kiwi Bird is now playing Kirby instead. Not really sure what's going on here. This might be some reverse main tomfoolery, but we're in it. We're in it.
Yeah, both of these schools know each other, or both of these teams, I should say, know each other very well, considering they're from the same school. So certainly there might be some shenanigans afoot between these two, but 2 stocks apiece right now, so 1 off the board of each. And it's going to be a fun matchup to watch regardless. Fisher Fall winning, I believe, the last split as well. And the spring team has really kind of come into their own as of late, right? Mm-hmm. These are the top 2 seeds entering. So obviously 2 very strong contenders here. And it's going to be an early lead there earned off of that net.
Yeah, if this is a reverse main situation, I can see why Pac-Man might be struggling a little bit more if you don't have as much experience with the character. I know Kiwi is a pretty well-known Pac-Man specialist, but it's not exactly a character you just pick up on a whim compared to Kirby. You kind of watch the Kirby game plan, you're like, okay, I know how Kirby works, and I got approach with Dare, or poke out with down tilt, I got my down throw forward air combo. It's just a lot of fun. You gotta get out of the idea how the character works. Pac-Man's got a lot more shenanigans on it, harder to stabilize. Really learn how to play, especially on the fly in the middle of the set. So if that is MD on the Pac-Man, I can see why this might be a little bit of a struggle up against Kiwi's Kirby. But honestly, it is unclear. I will have to be honest. Nonetheless, Kirby's got a solid lead here. What's the ledge trap? Be looking for that dash attack on this kill early. We're going dash attack back and forth. That is very punishable. But also, Pac-Man's got a pretty slow grab, so you can maybe use that to your advantage.
Yeah, they're able to weave around it for now. Jazz will stuff out the reattempt there by Kirby, and they're gonna get punished for that grab. And just like you mentioned, that's a slow grab, and the forward smash can outspace it. So Kirby will take the opener here and knock down 1 member of Fisher College.
Fisher, I think Fisher Fall taking it over Spring, maybe. But if it's Kiwi, then it would be Fisher Spring taking over Fall. Ooh, I'm actually not sure. Okay, I think we're having Kiwi on the Kirby here. I think the result screen is correct. This is mind melting for me right now. I am so sorry. But
we in the same boat.
I honestly don't know what's happening. Fisher calls Spring here with the 1-stock lead over. Kiwi still in it with the Pac-Man. Or sorry, no, not the Pac-Man. That's what I expected. With the Kirby. My apologies. One thing to note that because this is finals, this is also best of 5. So these players are going to be scrapping and brawling for quite a bit on what they're working with. They obviously know, as you said, right? They're both teams of the same school. I'm sure they've practiced and trained more hours than we will ever know. But that level of familiarity can definitely lead to some interesting shenanigans. And I think we're seeing the start of that right here at the beginning of this first game of Grand Finals of ECAC. I know kind of behind and on the production side of things, we were talking about what other potential funny or interesting matches we might be looking forward to. Anything that's coming out to your mind right now, Soy?
I mean, there's a ton of fun dittos that we could potentially see, but when you look at the cast of characters, right, a lot of these players play some really solid kind of mechanical cast of characters, right? So, for example, G Extreme, who we might see later on the Pikachu. We got MD on Pokemon Trainer. Moxie's a great player for the side of Spring that we might see as a potential pocket later on with the Wolf, right? So a lot of those characters that are kind of at least, bare minimum considered mid or high in terms of that tier list. So I'm curious to see if this kind of reverse main theme ends up kind of sticking true or not. But at the end of the day, we're going to see the Kirby Ditto. I wonder if they're listening, huh? The Ditto into the Kiwis Kirby here for round number 2. And this feels like an oddball type of Ditto, because like you mentioned, right? You got, the game plan for Kirby feels a little straightforward, right? Poke with down tilt. You've got your combos. You've got your multi-hit forward air that's pretty useful just in neutral overall. But you can't use like half of the specials kit without being punished for it. So this just comes down to bare bones neutral with that A button.
Yeah, it does help a lot for Kirby anyway, on a lot of Kirby's matchups, for being that smaller character, and the crouch helping you low profile so many things and avoid so much. But Kirby doing it to himself might be a lot weird of an interaction than we might be expecting. So we'll have honestly. Going on our side Bs left and right, let's do it.
Jerry stepping into the ring here as player number 2 for the side of Fisher Fall on the blue Kirby. But it's Kiwi who gets the early start here. Good read, but maybe a reversal? No, not for the moment. Kiwi doing a good job. Oh, boy.
Yeah, those downer links could be something crazy, but Kirby's got a great recovery. Definitely more than enough resources to make it all the way back. But yeah, Kiwi's definitely built a solid lead. Nice backer trying catch. We got, FD Battlefield. So effectively FD, and I think, wow. She's been a back air menace. Kiwi's pulled out so many. No stops whatsoever. She's keeping flowing. We got our down throw. Tries to forward air follow up, but that's Kirby being unable to hit Kirby. And I feel like that interaction is going to happen, right? A lot of dash attacks. For no one being in kill range and for how committal that move is, I'm very surprised. But Kiwi is just not letting Jerry land right now, and this is an entire stock loop. Up airs and back airs galore. There's a forward air too. Could be it.
The chase down from Kiwi and stringing together these back airs. I mean, this Kirby's looking a little bit more like Jigglypuff with the fact that they can cover all these options, and those aerials are starting to get into killer range. But great movement there. Kiwi dodging the down B and punishing with the up smash. So another stock off the board, and Kiwi already taking care of 5 of Fisher Falls stocks, and they're already working pretty hard on stock number 6.
Yeah, Kiwi's doing an incredible job. This is looking like a pretty solid 3 stock. Look at all these hard reads. The way you saw Kiwi kind of run up and punish the down B knows this is like some minor experience in how the way Kirby works and how to punish some of these more weird moves. Gonna be a classic. But chasing off stage with that back air and actually getting an entire 3 stocks while losing a single one of her own. Kiwi has just blown through 6 stocks with Kirby, which I don't even know if she plays or not. Maybe she does. I mean, if she did this well, it's got to have some merit and value to it. I'm going to declare her a Kirby player now if she wasn't one already. That's incredible.
That's awesome to see. Yeah, this Kirby is putting in the work, and I think it goes to show that part of the reason that these two teams are here in grand finals is because of kind of moments like this where you might have a read on one style of matchup or one type of character, but all of a sudden maybe the pocket picks come through and you have such explosive players, so strong in their own right? Jerry says, all right, all I need to do is just take a stock. I'll go for the Kirby Ditto. In a Ditto, it's often, pretty close because all you need is, one stock. You both have the same tools, so you can kind of weave around each other pretty well. But Kiwi on the shutdown, a complete 3-stock in that second series. Every member of Fisher College is just so explosive in how they play.
That's right. I'm looking forward to see how much more damage Kiwi could do on her Kirby here for the last player of Fisher College Fall. Could be really anyone. These guys have both got their teams have pretty solidly large rosters, definitely more than I want to say close to like 6-7 players on both sides. And so even with players that are checked in, there's only 3, it could be anybody. And I think that grab bag of like anyone's good, everyone is good. See what crazy, wacky, zany matches we can come up with on the fly here. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I wouldn't be surprised if any of the players here in game 1 do not show up at all in game 2. If game 2 is completely different rosters on both teams, that would be a lot of fun. Which one thing I don't know if is allowed or not is if they could swap rosters on the fly. Pretty sure they can't do that. But that would be incredibly hilarious if they did.
That would be awesome to see. Yeah, and when you're in a situation like this too, right? You kind of have that luxury of being able to show off the depth of the talent, right? Because like we mentioned, everyone on this squad has that ability to pop off and have these commanding type of results, but you also have the varying degrees of talent, right? Fisher Fall has some, veterans of the scene, some top performers like Sonics, who's, attending professional level tournaments and having fantastic results at them, right?
Man, one CEO.
Yeah, one CEO. So you have these players who maybe have that professional level, but you also have players who for the side of Fisher College maybe haven't gone out to travel to a couple of these tournaments, haven't had that chance to play at the professional level, but that experience kind of translates throughout the roster and spreads without, and that experience kind of rubs off, and so that's where you see everyone just kind of rising to the occasion. But this is that chance now that you have not only Fisher v. Fisher, but also in a grand final that's a best of 3 or best of 5, excuse me, in terms of grand finals. You've got so many sets to play with that you can really kind of explore the depth of your talent.
True. And that just makes me think, imagine of all the practice they put in across all of these hours where, as you said, right, there's so many already established players like Huey and Sonics who are active in the scene and doing things at kind of like the community level versus just collegiate. And then people trying to build themselves up. I can almost see it kind of like a training school in a way, where it's like, you're good, you got potential, you go to Fisher College, you grind yourself up. Suddenly you're out in the real Smash community, putting in work, making a name for yourself like right off the bat. Because of all the good players you've been able to train with, all the advice you've been able to get, and how much you've been able to learn with all those experiences, it sounds awesome. I'm super excited to see what the potential for a lot of these Fisher College players are going forward. And I hope they can also attribute it back to Fisher College and we can kind of elevate all of collegiate Smash Brothers as a legitimate path to becoming a top Smash player. I think that seems super, super sick. And I think one day, I think I can definitely see it happening. Right now, we see a lot of top players who are already good at Smash hopping into college teams because, they're getting accepted to college, doing the thing in college. But seeing the reverse of people who kind of grinded up through college and then becoming a top player afterwards, I think is going to be a super awesome storyline that'll only apply to like this kind of modern era of Smash, because it really wasn't a thing way back when, all those years. And one day maybe Melee can get involved in stuff like this too. Who knows? But that it's just awesome. The future, the potential, all the possibilities. There's so much that could happen. It's always so exciting to think about. I get way too giddy about like, oh my goodness, like all these different college teams are coming together at these lands. They're playing against each other here. Oh no, we get all the college shipped off to a place like, I don't know, like Evo or Shine or all these big tournaments, and they're getting that big tournament experience. That's one thing I really appreciate about Smash and fighting games. I've talked about it a couple times on stream before, but it's like the professional level of being involved in that high level community is open to everybody. you could have literally never picked up the controller before and signed up for Evo, or I guess not anymore because Smash not Evo anymore. I don't know, like Super Smash Con, right? Like one of the biggest tournaments out there, any of the Genesises, whatever, right? You could be anybody, sign up, and you're there. And you are just as equal as literally anyone else there. Someone could have been there for 20 years playing every Smash level. But at the end of the day, they are just one more entrant in the same bracket that you're able to enter, completely the same. And I think that puts Smash and fighting games in a very unique situation in esports where it makes it almost extremely accessible in its own way. Where I know people talk about 1v1 games being very difficult to get into, and it's kind of hard for that learning curve. It feels like a steep wall. And that is true. Granted, I will have to admit that is definitely true. But on the other hand, getting involved and in touch with the community and feeling like you're in with it is so easy. You don't have to be super good at the game. You can just be there, hang out, have fun, and make connections, and you're already invested. And I think trying to mesh the collegiate side of things with the active community, like example, have been hosting collegiate finals every now and then. That kind of fusion is beautiful, and I would definitely want to see more of that. But we're hopping into our next game here. We got a random selection from G Extreme, right? We see the Ryu now, but they picked random. I just need to tell you that. That's how crazy we're getting with this. So Kiwi's gonna go SD twice, and then we're gonna see the Ryu Kirby matchup. This is gonna be fun.
I'm interested to see how this goes. We're about to see if G Extreme knows the Street Fighter inputs that Ryu kind of thrives off of, right? And when we look at the players on these squads, a lot of them have obviously their one kind of go-to, their main character, and then usually a pocket or two to deal with some bad matchups. But for G Extreme, it's mostly been the Pikachu back in the day, but considering the format, obviously not an option here.
Oh, no.
Pikachu doesn't have a whole ton of bad matchups, but it's going to be Kiwi taking an early stock here off of that air dodge from G Extreme. And is that the second down air? No. Well done there by G Extreme. Holding back on that up B because that contributed. Oh no, did they get the footstool there too?
I think so. Wow. This whole game has been G Extreme on like pretty solid Ryu offense, and then having Kiwi go for the most random moves, or in case of the first stock, pretty much doing nothing at all. And then taking 2 stocks anyway. So that puts Kiwi out of taking 8 entire stocks. Finally, the random forward smash, the donkey kick, is going to take it for G Extreme over at Kiwi. But wow, 8 stocks? When everyone's a player from Fisher? Like, yeah, that seems crazy. But of course, we're doing a little bit of fun. We're having a good time with this, right? This is more, you can give it more akin to like, after party, hanging out, playing games for fun. Maybe it's a slight money match here and there, right? But it's just like you're booling, you're having fun, messing around. That's kind of what this is like right now. At least definitely with the character picks that we're seeing and the way that some people are playing, it is a curious adventure to witness.
Yeah, for sure. Is now Fisher Spring, they'll have to decide who they want to send in. You look at this Fisher Spring lineup. Again, Fisher Fall, previous champions of the ECAC. When you look at Fisher Spring, you got an interesting kind of selection of players. Sokka 16 comes to mind, the Lucas veteran that we've seen have these match out performances. Mateo on the Palutena as well. Moxie, the Wolf I mentioned earlier. So there's a lot of solid talent on this squad. Indecisive also is another player that may get their chance to shine in this spotlight. We get to see them later on today. But yeah, a lot of options for Fisher Spring. They're going with the random to see if they can get the job done. I was going to ask, what do you think the odds that of a character like Ryu being able to fully swing a crew battle like this around with only one stock? But they're going to be going up against, I guess, a Greninja. Wait, are they locked into Greninja for a button chip? Oh, wait, no, this isn't button chip. This is just the...
they're SDing. Right. Yeah, random is a very interesting caveat of, like, having to stay locked to your character across matches because... across both matches. So we saw G Extreme on the Ryu last time with their fighting game, expertise. But this time around, the fighting game characters are going to switch over to Indecisive, who you had mentioned before on the Ken, up against G Extreme's Greninja. Let's see if Indecisive has the experience, required. Oh my goodness. To push through on Ken. You're going to see those down tilts, those crouching low kicks into medium. Shoryu confirms, wow, great spot dodge through the Hadouken. Seems like G Extreme's pretty comfortable on the Greninja movement right now. We got a down throw. Not exactly super consistent. We got a nair into jab 1, 2, 3. All right. We got some Hadokens. Ooh, run up Shoryu in neutral. That's an interesting bait, but he's able to get a grab off it. The counter is to get punished with an up smash. How is GXtreme going to land? Okay, swings right back down. Great airspeed from Gringe is definitely going to help with that. We got a down to up air. Great focused attack on the forward air. No confirm. Can Indecisive take the stock? Ken's got one of those characters where if you are able to just throw out those kill moves repeatedly, they're fairly safe on shield, especially stuff with like forward smash. Well, okay, not safe on shield, but they got a lot more pushback than you expect. And so they throw them out, you get randomly hit, you're blown up. But really the big thing about Ken is the Shoryuken. But that is also super committal, and if you can't land it, it's a lot harder to play the game. We're going to see GXtreme take a stock with a forward smash, and Indecisive is fishing for these Shoryus right now.
Yeah, and on the flip side, right, Greninja is one of those characters that kind of relies on their setups into kills, right? Things like dash attack into forward air, or the falling forward air drag down into jab lock of some sort, right? So it feels like GXtreme, they're going to rely on Indecisive to kind of make those mistakes, go for those heavy swings, and then be able to punish with kind of that burst of something like a dash attack afterward to be able to follow up. Waiting for Indecisive to just slightly overstep on this character. You can see already on this stock they've gotten a decent amount of percent. That second upper, maybe upper number 3, not gonna do the trick quite yet. They try to mix it up with the forward air this time around, but a well-timed air dodge. They still get the track down though, and they're able to secure it thanks to that 4th or 5th up air landed, and
Indecisive was in disadvantage for so long, but it doesn't matter if you're gonna run up and your ledge trap option is gonna be hard commit to hard Shoryuken. That's the heavy input. That's the strong version you actually want to be going for kill. I saw Indecisive jump in with the light Shoryu before. They had the right read, but because it was the lighter Shoryu, it didn't kill. So I was like, wow, Indecisive could have won right there, but it wasn't enough. But finally, the game-winning play is running up hard, coming to ledge, and just throw it out. The fiery Dragon Punch is going to take it for game 1. And that's going to be first game going over to Fisher College Spring. Oh, are we just hopping right back into it? Okay, we're throwing ourselves into the fray. I think they're just going to open with GXtreme versus Indecisive yet again.
There's no way that Random just gave GXtreme his main, right? There's no way.
This seemed like this might have happened, and this could pose to be a huge problem for Indecisive. But we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. We're going to see how much fun GXtreme wants to have with this. We're going to drag down combos, couple up tilts and up airs. Oh my goodness, the reset off that nair. That could have been huge. But we're going to have Indecisive fight his way out. How is Indecisive going to approach here, though? The Reflector isn't something you can super throw out. The Thunder Jolt is going to be annoying. Falco's on the taller side of things. He is pretty solid combo food, I think, in this situation. Meanwhile, Falco is in a way kind of like Greninja, where they're very much focused on their setups, their starters, to confirm off damage, but a lot of them are DI dependent, reaction dependent, or just read dependent, and it's a lot less consistent damage compared to Pikachu. So even at a game plan level, I feel like Pikachu already has a pretty solid advantage, not to mention all the weird hurtbox shenanigans that Pikachu has with things like back air and crouch. Oh my goodness, just run up and up smash. Follow through with that back roll. And now we're getting some pancake combos. Triple back air, throwing an up air in between for a nice measure too. Air dodges through the up tilt. Is finally able to get an up air, up throw up air for a little bit of damage. Reflects the T-Jolt, doesn't matter. Quick attack goes right through. F smash is going to be whiffed. We only get an up air punish though. And it's looking a little tough here for Indecisive.
Back throw to get GXtreme off stage. Maybe we find something here, but no. Again, that up B, the fact that Pikachu's up B has a hitbox as opposed to Pichu's helps, with that kind of extra burst. They'll be able to sneak in some damage, and it's very hard to track down and punish for Indecisive. They'll shine the projectile, but they'll end up taking a back air. Oh, the side B got caught by the Thunder, and thank the heavens for that rough platform, because if that was the spike, that was the stock off the back of it. They will get a down smash. Is this enough to take the stock? No, not quite yet. Dream threatening another Thunder, but not going to be able to pull the trigger on it quite yet. Dash attack, kind of the sour spot of that hitbox, so not going to be able to kill. Up throw, third laser doesn't connect, and so Pikachu gets to survive.
Yep, Pikachu's still in it. 130% here onto 127. For Falco. Quick attack to get back to ledge. Oh, there's a spike. Falco challenges with a downer, and Pikachu threw it on up air. Wasn't enough to kill. This up throw will be enough to kill considering the percentage and the rage Oh my goodness. You know Indecisive is hungry for at least one kill. We saw him throwing out a couple down tilts. Pretty good, pretty solid, you know, kill move, especially for Falco at this percent down tilt would definitely take it. Almost anything would you think? You think this little rat's gonna get popped considering how small Pikachu is, but it still requires you to land a hit. And I guess a character like Pikachu, that's a lot easier said than done. Ooh, there's the landing back here to finally take it.
Yep, just as you say it, right? They need to find one of those kind of stray hits. They find a strong one in that back air there upon landing. So one off the board. Indecisive will certainly need to do a lot of work to battle back in this one, especially starting with getting back to stage, early side beat, and they're able to sneak through, make it back for the moment. They get an up tilt, they get an up air as well, but that's it, and they land unsafely. G-Extreme with the count of the forward smash, and they shut down Indecisive in this second series.
For the first time in this set, Fisher Fall now has the lead. So how is Fisher Color Spring going to respond? Are we going to throw in Kiwi again? Are we going to well, I mean, G-Extreme has to commit to random. So although this Pikachu was a higher roll this time around, you never know what you're going to get next. And that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Now I'm starting to think what the regulation on random is, because let's say hypothetically you don't have DLC characters, right? Doesn't that technically increase the chances of you getting characters you'd want to play relative to people that would have DLC? This is very minute, and I'm sure there's no actual ruling about this, but it's just food for thought. You know, there's so much going on with this game and going on with rulings for competitive gameplay that you never know. You know, something this could maybe apply one day. I don't know, but it's just something I'm throwing out there.
I cannot believe of all the times for random to be picked, G-Extreme actually gets his main character. Like what in a cast of 80 plus, and it's the second time that he gets random, that he gets his character. That's those are absurd odds.
So it's like, could the other team accuse him of RNG manipulation because he intentionally doesn't have DLC, right? Like is this a call out you can make and have some ruling coming in on? Like, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to start some drama between the teams, but like, there's an option. No,
so hear me out. If you button check as random, you're not locked into that character anymore, right? But if you use that RNG of, all right, we now know it's probably not going to be this character next, you eliminate that potential. So you could
I see you. That's why I think if you do roll a character on button check, you probably should swap to that character. Out of like fairness sake, because that would have been the actual like role say that was a game. But otherwise, yeah, I entirely agree. That is also like to some degree RNG manipulation, right? Like if you roll a character and you like get a character you don't want to play, you're like, thank goodness I don't have to play this character next, because if I pick random, I'm getting somebody else for sure. And like I don't know. That's why if there is a button check random ruling, it's got to be you commit to that character. If not, there's some wacky shenanigans going on back there. I can tell you that much. However, to be fair, there's a risk reward to it, because let's say you say button check and you get your main, right? But since you tell your opponent it's button check ahead of time and you're stuck to random, you're screwed. You're not getting your main next game. So maybe because of the risk reward involved, I think the averages out of like how much it actually impacts sets might be like pretty much negligible. So maybe they would allow you to like button check and like keep the character or something. I don't know. Or like, or be allowed you to reroll. Sorry, allow you to reroll. Who knows? That's all interesting. See, I'm sure these discussions would be a lot more prominent if like more people played random, but like understandably, people don't play random in this game. Again, a cast of 80 plus, it's just, there's so much. There's way too much. No way anyone wants to take random to a competitive level. You are definitely just shooting yourself in the foot there, completely gimping yourself. But we're going to see Ludwig as the pick here, up against G-Extreme's very own random. So far, random's been putting on a good show, though. I gotta say, G-Extreme's got a solid random.
Yeah, solid random pick so far. It does help when you get the character you've probably put the most time into, but you know, that aside, we get to see MD and Mateo here for this battle. The Yoshi getting pulled by random this time around, and kind of an oddball matchup here, right? Because I feel like while you do get you typically get some up air strings with Bowser Jr. At least they like to kind of go for those up air strings. Can't really do that against Yoshi because of that jump armor, right?
Yeah, that'll be pretty obnoxious. But I also do want to note that so it turns out GA Stream's Switch crashed, so he's forfeiting all of his stocks. So the two teams are now entirely even, and that's why we're seeing new players on both sides. My brain scrambled so hard when I saw all new names, and I thought I was like in a different dimension or something. I was like, what happened? But now that we have an explanation, this is why we have new players on both ends. But it looks like we got Kiwi is the one on Yoshi here, and we have MD on Ludwig. I was gonna say Bowser Jr., but we gotta be a little more accurate here. Yeah, double jump armor is probably gonna come in fairly clutch for like significant disadvantage situations, but I think Bowser Jr. is one of those characters that like when you're playing the neutral game, it's more about like whittling down from afar, which double jump armor is not really gonna help with a whole lot, and otherwise landing super significant like singular hits with things like forward or backward, which again, like because of the strength of those hits, sometimes it can be useful, but I can see that not being the most prominent like benefactor in this matchup compared to a lot of others, where you just want to be jumping out of weak hit combos or strings a lot and resetting back to neutral. But we're over here on 2 stocks apiece here. MD's been doing a pretty good job of keeping Kiwi out. It's been a struggle. Eggs have been able to be challenged with things like the cannonball and the bomb bot, but I think if Kiwi is able to find her way in, she can make some real damage happen. Just even something like a landing down air. But oh my goodness, all of these slide tackles with the side B, the clown car, into the hammer in the air have been painful, brutal, and Kiwi's gonna go down another stock.
Yep, another stock off the board, and I agree. If Kiwi can get in, the damage that Yoshi does is actually absurd, and they can rack up the damage very, very quickly. Things like the drag down back air, because it's a multi-hit. That down air I've seen do up to 40 damage before if all those hits connect. It is insane what this dinosaur can do in terms of outputting percent. And then when it comes to those last hit last stock type of scenarios, Yoshi's certainly not lacking kill power. But speaking of kill power, that forward smash has got it, and it's going to take down Kiwi. MD closes out Spring's second player.
That's right. Now we're looking at 5 stocks to 3. Spring only having 1 player left, which I don't even think we got to see last time. But again, it's a grab bag of a bunch of players because they could have really anyone in across all these games. The roster is so big. So it's genuinely a complete mystery. We have no preconceived data from today. And so we're just going to have to open our eyes and see what's coming next. But MD on the Bowser Jr., rather the Ludwig, has been pretty solid, and I think they're going to present a solid challenge for whoever's left on Fisher College Spring side. Not to mention our last player from Fisher College Fall as well, who I am now trying to remember from last game was.
For Spring, it was indecisive. You also had from Fall. You're talking about.
Yeah, from Fall. Yeah, Fall's last player.
They had it was MD, G Extreme, and Jerry. Jerry was the second
that's
player.
what it was. Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry played Kiwi in the
second match.
Kirby
second
Ditto.
matchup.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was the Kirby Ditto. Right. Yeah, where Kiwi was putting on a fantastic Kirby show. I wonder what insinuated the Yoshi pick this time around. Possible some more background lore there, or just Kiwi having some fun. Either way, I respect it. Always good to have fun playing games. We got one more random stepping up to the stage here from Fisher College Spring side. We'll see who it is. Both character and player are an enigma to us in this moment. Terry Bogart from Fatal Fury stepping to the plate with Mateo.
Yeah, so I've actually seen a lot of this matchup from schools out of the MAC conference. They like these two characters, but when you look at these two go, the way the fight kind of plays out, it's very odd, right? Because like you said, Bowser Jr. does like to kind of chip away at a distance, but you can at times afford to be aggressive like MD is doing. You can the disadvantage of Terry is just weak enough that you can string together those up air hits. You can still link together that upbeat if you find the right hitbox. And MD's shown some pretty solid proficiency in being able to do just that. So it's up to Mateo to kind of adapt now that they've kind of survived the early onslaught. They're at 93%, and they're trying to find a way to take this stock. They're looking for the down air along the ledge, and they dash right back into a forward. It's not going to kill quite yet, and now Go is online, so things get scary.
And almost hit out of the stock there too. So close. Oh, I think the burn knuckle kind of stalled momentum a little bit awkwardly there, where the bowling ball was actually able to hit the cannonball. I think if they were to follow faster, it would have been fine. Nonetheless, it's a great stock taken here from MD. A snipe, if you will. I think the biggest problem here for Terry is that Terry just cannot challenge the call at all. That is so rough. You usually want to have disjoints or projectiles to kind of zone out or stuff out things like Bowser Jr. car, or at least a good amount of maneuverability to get away from it. And Terry's got average speed, projectile not super great, and definitely not a whole lot of disjoints to play with. And things that will help out getting your own thing started, things like jab or down tilt, are definitely going to just lose the car there. But great forward smash. Could keep Mateo in the game. I want to see more shield pressure, because I think if Terry's boxing up close against Bowser Jr., Bowser Jr. is going to really, really struggle, because a lot of Bowser Jr.'s game plan is like kind of the in and out, where you go in with car, get you confirmed, kind of get away, try to drop setups with things like the walking bomb, or maybe some shield pressure with the cannonball. But if you're carry, you're just in there, you're constantly trying to pressure on shield, whether it be power dunks, down tilts, burn knuckles, crack shoot, everything just does so much damage, let alone shield damage. That's how you really want to be taking your kills and confirming here. Wow, what a great anti-air up smash from MD to take out Mateo's second stock, and now it's Fisher Spring on their last leg. MD in a solid position, but if not MD, Fisher fall in a solid position to be taking this game. But I'm not going to count on MD just yet. Look at these up air chains and that back air to catch the air dodge, narrowing out. Oh, that up smash is going to punish the whipped rising tackle, and then that's going to be a burn knuckle into another forward smash, and MD is going to close it out for Fisher Fall over Mateo, and now we are 1-1 in grand finals.
1-1, so woo! Guaranteed a fourth set, but what a showing from MD's Ludwig, right? I mean, that is not a character that we typically see here at the ECAC, but also not one we typically see as a character that, you know, is known for taking massive strings of stocks. You know, they can typically command a set or keep things close, but in terms of being able to do what MD just did, is few and far between. So MD, a very solid read on this character, and a very solid performance here in set number 2.
Yeah, fantastic gameplay from both sides. Now we got both ends of Fisher College up one game over each other. They're 1-1. We're only just getting started, but we're going to throw it over to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more amazing Fisher College action. We'll see you soon.
You have preferences? Do you try to steer them one way or the other? And just talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. The majority of our schools are not under the athletics umbrella. We have one institution that perhaps by next year will be under the auspices of athletics, but most of them are in other departments across campus. Right. One of the things that has helped us is that we have support from the president's office. And so in order to participate in Mountain West events, you have to have an adult non-student administrator that oversees that, you know, the eSport program. And that's where we get assistance with, you know, eligibility checks and, you know, please complete your roster, things like that. I don't know in the future, and it depends on, you know, who's sitting in the athletics director's chairs, whether or not more esport teams will go under the umbrella of athletics. And I'm kind of indifferent in terms of whether it should, because I don't want esports to go down the road that some conventional sports have gone down with the NCAA. So we have a unique opportunity to kind of craft esports in a way that fits what esports is, as opposed to trying to fit it into a conventional athletics box, so to speak.
Right.
You know, I think the success of our program and getting participation is exactly that. The fact that we're not tying it in necessarily to athletics and NCAA eligibility. Like Carolyn, we probably have 3 or 4 schools that are under athletics. And I know it puts them in a difficult position sometimes trying to make some decisions. I got a request recently to consider allowing part-time students to participate during this year, because some schools struggle sometimes to fill out all the games that they want to play with us. And we held off on that for now. You know, we defer to the institution and say, What's your policy for those that are under student development or activities? What's your policy for allowing students to participate? And if you certify that they're eligible under your current policies, then that's good for us. I also think, and I was part of some of the conversations early on with the NCAA years ago about the NCAA getting involved as a Division II representative, and I was crossing my fingers that wouldn't happen, just because I think this needs time to grow, and expand.
Can I ask a question, because you mentioned part-time enrollment, and one of the things that we've done here is that as a conference, we've just set eligibility standards, full-time enrollment, making progress towards your degree as the institution defines it. Are you guys doing something like that as well? Because we've gotten that part-time enrollment question and we've said no.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've gotten that far down the line, Carolyn, to ask for that. I think we kind of put it on the institution, but we do say that the student has to be a full-time. Now, they could be a full-time grad student, but they have to be full-time as from what the institution decides.
Yeah, our eligibility requirements are just as simple as can be. You have to be a full-time student in good standing.
Yes.
And after that, and that's about it. Now I think we wanted as few impediments to getting this thing rolling as possible in the outset. I do think as schools get more competitive, they will start to distrust one another, and that's why we have this 500-page NCAA manual, because schools distrust one another. But we're not there yet. Right now there's still a collective. Let's move this forward, and the fact that the NCAA is not administering it, I think, is really helpful to the growth of it all. And yes, we allow grad students. We don't even have a 4 or 5 year clock. If you are full-time enrolled for 10 years in good standing, you can do, and why not? Why would we not say that that's okay? Now, eventually, like I said, we may change our minds if the schools require it. They say, no, this is crazy. Look what they're doing over there. We don't like, but I think we're still a long way from that. Alex, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything that really Carolyn has said. You're gonna have to forgive me. What was the original question? It's been a minute. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, just kind of what you set out to do, and then what maybe the realities of it all.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I? Oh, should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis and I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down to the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're gonna be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not gonna tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it? Did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them?
No.
Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay. All right. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give all your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about like 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place? That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
1st place? That's very doable.
1st place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's gonna hold that against you. Who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see.
The Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazi.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah. It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your KD?
We're looking at 10-6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do we think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass. Yeah. Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco! Oh my God, I don't think anyone is going to get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
That's why.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Here we are, moving on to Game 3 of ECAC Grand Finals between Fisher Fall and Fisher Spring. Get you guys up to speed. We're on 1-1 score between the two teams. Fisher Spring took the first game. Fisher Fall took the second. There's a lot of interesting character picks and unorthodox gameplay styles compared to what we're usually used to with these two teams. So understandable considering that they're both in finals and, they can just kind of have fun with it. So that we're looking at a hero ditto with a strong emphasis on using down B. So I think we're going to have a lot of interesting things to be watching for out there. Some of the greatest moves in the game exist off of heroes down B. Things like Kaboom and Magic Burst are absolutely insane as moves. Those two moves just like completely throw it. But things like Flame Slash being super fast and can actually kill reasonably early. You have Sizzle also being pretty fast and kills pretty early. But I mean, it's really hard to beat Kaboom like sucking you in. But you also got like repositioning moves with things like Zoom, or you can have like Acceleratle, which like move you around. You're suddenly with like Shulk speed and jump at the same time type stuff, and you're just going everywhere. You got Oomph and Psych Up for way more damage and combos and pressure. It's insane. There's just so much that could happen. And if both people kind of got the handshake on, oh yeah, we're both going to use a lot of down B, we're going to see shenanigans. I'm just hoping to see if we get some insta kills, whether it be whack or thwack. Those are always fun to watch, especially with reflectors involved. If bounce comes out and you're like, throwing out these insta kills on bounce and suddenly you're dying, you deserve that. You deserve that.
Yeah, we could potentially see some very, very funny interactions. The odds of this are slim, but hear me out. Klang into Metal Slash. That would be absolutely absurd back-to-back combo that I hope we get to see if the down B emphasis is the case. Now, I'm interested also because this feels like one of those matches where did they play it actually like a turn-based play style, like the game that Hero is from, or do they try and like weave around and just use the menus to try and make their way back to stage? Could be interesting to see. But Hero is just such a fun character for the menu, right? Like that is such a huge part of Hero's kit, but also just in general, the character just feels very floaty and fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely incredible. And it's a great question that you posed on how are we going to approach the matchup. But unfortunately, we may not be getting the answer to that because one of the players did not have Hero on their Switch. So me calling out not having DLC is a real problem, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. This is crazy. It's an epidemic. People don't have DLC out here. They're causing way more problems than they should. But we're going to be hopping in to our first game. It's going to be Kiwi versus Jerry. Jerry's going to be on the Wolf, and we have Kiwi on the Ninja. So Jerry, I believe, is an Ike player more regularly, and Kiwi, of course, being a Pac-Man player, which as before. So now I'm not sure if they picked random and got these two characters, or if it was a manual selection. That part is not known to me, but we'll find out after the fact, I'm sure. Until then, we can enjoy some pretty fun gameplay, because I think both these characters are a lot of fun to watch. Their interactions between the two, I think, are pretty interesting, because Greninja's kind of like that more like setup/combo-centric character, but it's also a lot harder to land everything consistently compared to something like Wolf, who's a lot more just like fundamental, throw out your singular moves that are just good. You just happen to stay in advantage a lot longer than you'd expect, but abusable off stage, right? There's still that back and forth. So although the on stage gameplay and the lens trapping is fantastic from Wolf's end, you get him off, you move around a little too much, you send out a lot of moves, send him flying. Could be a little hard for him to make it back. So we'll see how it plays out.
So far, start here for Kiwi. They've got the stock lead. They're about to lap this Wolf in percent as well. So Jerry, I get caught a couple times defensively. Jabs will knock them off stage for the moment. We've seen Kiwi a couple times try and use that flood to their advantage, that up B to try and or hydro pump, I guess is what it's called for Greninja. The fact that it can kind of push you away. Somehow, some way, the water shuriken misses there, and the forward smash connects instead to punish, and that will be how Kiwi drops their opening stock. But that is incredible spacing for a projectile at point-blank range to somehow go over the head of Wolf.
Oh my goodness, we just saw forward smash being beat by forward tilt like 2 or 3 times in a row. Kiwi, wow, absolutely for-funning the game. Going for like, I want to say 5 or 6 forward smashes, getting a lot of them stuffed out, another half of them whiffing, but finally, the one that needed to hit, it hit. And that's the game. But I think that interesting shuriken interaction is probably with the way the Wolf forward smash is kind of weird on how it changes his hurt box a little bit, and also how far it pushes you and how safe it is. That move is just like wacky. And I think that's probably why the shuriken didn't hit, but yeah, that was very close. It seemed like it could have. Kiwi super well positioned, using that hydro pump to put Wolf into helpless after the side B and actually landing the forward air to kill after. That was really smart. Super well played there by Kiwi. And it's going to walk away with 2 stocks. Now another lead here for Fisher Spring that Kiwi opened up with. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, Kiwi's playing with some fire under them, and I cannot believe that Kiwi actually got that forward air off, right? There's a little bit of a pause, a little bit of startup to that move before that hitbox actually comes out. So spacing that aerial in particular can be a little difficult, especially if you're trying to do something like short hop to threaten that kind of space in front of you. And you saw it had to be basically frame perfect to get that forward air out right before landing, because once you land, all of a sudden that animation stops. You go into landing animation and your move no longer comes out. So well timed and well executed by Kiwi to get that forward air out, get the punish, and get rid of the Jerry's Wolf, which pretty solid performance by Kiwi, and Fisher Spring, pretty solid lead now, 2 stocks, and we'll have to see who Fisher Fall opts to send in next.
So it turns out the Paradox, or rather not Paradox, it was Jerry. That Wolf was a product of a random selection, and considering that our overlay hasn't changed yet, I'm going to assume that Kiwi's Greninja pick was also a product of random. So I think we're getting a whole slew of random this time around. Fisher College Spring looking pretty so far. But with the nature of random, literally anything could happen. You could get a character you like do not know how to play at all. You've never touched in your entire life. You barely even see it bracket, just like something you were completely unfamiliar with. And your opponent could roll their main. We've seen the main get rolled. We've seen people roll onto uncomfortable characters. It could very well happen in the same match, and it could absolutely spell doom for momentum, one way or the other. So we'll wait it out. We're getting a Bayonetta pick coming out from Fisher College Fall versus Kiwi. Sticking on the right, and we're getting Corrin. Okay, I think Corrin's a pretty not super difficult to play at an acceptable level. You know, you can just kind of get down with a lot of things flow and combo into each other super easily. Getting like a combo started with Nair and going to a bunch of forward airs, or starting with forward zone to a bunch of forward airs, it all just kind of flows. I remember back in the Smash 4 days, some people compared it to Melee Marth forward air, where it just kind of pops you up in this like upper forward angle that's easy to like kind of double jump into, and throw out another aerial. So we'll see how Kiwi can kind of fare up against Bayonetta, which is a lot more of a weird character to just kind of start playing and emphasizes different ways to play the game. And I don't know how much experience MD has on this character, but we could see something pretty crazy from Bayonetta as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the combo ability that Bayonetta can kind of bring to the table. But like you said, easier to say, harder to execute. So we'll have to see. So far, getting some good damage online, but the side B going to interrupt it. And MD very much off stage. They'll use the jump to get back above the ledge, but they're knocked off very quickly. And now look at the setup off of that up tilt, continuing to string hits together, but it's going to be landing up B from Kiwi that takes down MD's first stock. Not something you typically see up B upon landing, but I love that MD's trying to get fancy with it. They get the witch time, and instead of just trying to punish outright with a smash attack, trying to take the stock, no, they go for 2 hits of forward air and then try and follow up. But now maybe they go deep for that downward side B. They're not going to be able to take the stock quite yet. Side B used by Kiwi to help break out of the corner for the moment. Another up B, and this one's going to get punished. Forward smash will do the trick, and Kiwi's down to their last stop.
Yeah, Kiwi throwing out that up B a lot. It has a lot more interesting kill potential than you think, but a really funny thing about it is that it actually has some invulnerability upon startup. So that move is actually very hard to contest because it's invul at startup and then the super active and big hitbox while rising. It makes Corrin up B a really obnoxious move to try and contest. Nice tipper up smash, by the way, there for Kiwi on that right side platform of PS2 to take the stock. Huge Bayo ladder combos, 102%. Big thing here is unless you got the up tilt back air setups down, Bayo's going to struggle a little bit with killing, or unless you land a solid witch time or a really deep edge guard with forward air after using all your witch twists and double jumps and everything like that. There's that smash attack to punish the lunge into kick. That move is super abusable many eons ago, but now gonna have to put that away as MD walks away. Victor over Kiwi with only 1 stock remaining. Kiwi still tore through 5 stocks though. That is more than you can ask for from a player. That is a great job. Great job here to Kiwi opening up. MD on the singular stock with Bayonetta. Seems decently comfortable on it, so it wasn't complete fumble on MD's part. So definitely something you have to be looking out for. We'll see if Spring wants to maybe have a more unique counter pick. Maybe someone wants to play Hero. I don't know which side doesn't have Hero on the Switch. I'm not trying to expose anybody yet. But if I do get the information, I may or may not expose you. That might be a problem. Nonetheless, if Hero does happen to be available on either side, I would be super happy to see it. But otherwise, all the other weird characters that are just kind of weird to play, things like the Olimar and some of the DLC characters, they're fun. They're fun to watch. And I think the unique interactions are always great. So, and we already got Bayonetta, who's kind of a weirdo. We'll see how many more we can get on the stage at a singular time.
Yeah, and I think for MD, it feels like MD's got a pretty solid read actually on the combo game. Not necessarily the bread and butter of using that up B to try and start off the combos and get the ladders, but things like connecting the side Bs together and stringing the aerials together, it's pretty solid overall. It's not not the classic that we kind of know from say Smash 4, but still damage is damage, and Bayonetta thrives off of getting strings of hits together and getting that damage on lock. And then the way that MD was playing against that Corrin, certainly no lack of kill power in terms of finding ways to secure stocks, not allowing your opponent to survive up to those high percents is always a factor in these types of crew battles. So pretty solid. They're going for Min Min, I guess, for round number 2 here, and a very different style of character. And random gives you Ridley to try and counter this.
Is this allowed? It seems like MD has manually selected Min Min after a manual selection of Bayonetta, which usually for crew battles is not a thing, but I don't know. Maybe there's some gentleman ruling that like both it might be allowed. I don't know. So we'll see how this plays out. But I think they're going straight into it. Yeah, we're getting a random pick here from we got Mateo up against Ridley, Mateo on the Ridley up against the MD's Min Min. I can see this being a kind of a problem for Ridley, but once Ridley gets in, trying to find the way with the Nair, and then especially on the edge guards, Min Min is going to struggle. But the neutral is going to be pretty rough for Ridley. Bigger character, kind of easy to just get chipped out by anything and everything. It's the Min Min imperative, really. That's how she's gonna play like 99% of matchups, where she is the ultimate zoner. But, ooh, a nice side B there. Brutal grab, nice up air as well. The offstage game is really where Ridley's gonna shine here. And despite seeming like Min Min has won most interactions in neutral, the damage output has been super favored to Words, but doesn't matter if you get sniped by the Dragon Arm, holding out on that forward smash. Great stuff from MD to take one more stock here off Mateo. It's looking a little rough here. But 120%, Mateo will likely take this, hopefully without losing another stock to keep Fisher Spring to win the game. But we shall see. This could be MD's time. Oh, there's the back air. Commentator's curse. My apologies. That is straight up my bad.
Perfect timing, and the back air comes through to take that stock, like you mentioned. This matchup does feel very rough for Ridley for that reason, right? You talked about the stage control that Min Min brings to the table, and it does feel like a very linear approach that Ridley really has, right? You got outside of, say, jumping in and maybe the side B that we saw call out Min Min a couple times. Like, there's not much they can do on stage, but damage is damage, and they were able to get a couple nairs in there, and the side B in its own right does, I think, close to 20%. I think if you get
depends on how long you ride. Yeah.
So it's some pretty solid damage overall, and eventually that stock is just kind of like the hourglass. It's going to be chipped away at eventually, and just like that, they're able to take down the Min Min. So another player down for the side of Fisher Fall. They're on to their last member here in crew battle number 3, Mateo. All 3 stocks, and they're on random, so the Ridley is likely not in the cards for this next set.
Yep. Mateo did end up dropping a stock here, so he's got 5 stocks on spring side, just to the 3 on fall. With the nature of how these sets have been going so far, it definitely feels more like a war of attrition. Besides Kiwi's insanely strong early lead in the first game of taking 8 entire stocks, all by herself. Absolutely incredible. Beyond that, though, it really just seems like a pretty crazy back and forth. But whoever gets that first early lead, it's everyone's kind of messing around, playing funny characters, things they don't know what's going on as much. And because of that, we're seeing a lot more consistent stock back and forths. So, we just got the confirm. Again, new information. Fisher and ECAC staff have declared that this match is actually going to be a best of 3 instead of a best of 5. So we have been false advertising best of 5 this entire time. Our apologies. That's our bad right here. But this is it then. This is actually the final set here, grand finals of ECAC. It's a best of 3, and now we have MD playing again. But
is this Tony?
This time. Yeah.
Tony is locked in the Min Min for the member of Fisher Fall. So curious to see. I actually think we've seen Min Min maybe once or twice this season from them. Typically the Nest player, right? Nest has been their go-to. But in terms of kind of covering matchups, Min Min's a pretty actually good answer for if you don't like certain matchups as Nest. The way that this character kind of moves around, and Tony Pajamas obviously, with their performance last split, very veteran player. The problem is that this Sephiroth is putting in a lot of work early on Mateo.
Yeah, Sephiroth is someone that can box at that mid-range, which Min Min is usually supposed to be the king, the queen, rather, of. This time around, instead, it's Sephiroth kind of taking control of that mid-range, and that means that MD has to go even farther back to play the super far range. It's definitely a unique interaction of two characters that just have so much stage control and presence and cover so much space. Like we see, Sephiroth go for all this forward tilts, kind of whether it be mid stage, whether it be ledge trapping, it just has enough pushback, does enough damage, and has enough kill to be just one of the strongest tools that Sephiroth has to offer. And it's a lot harder for Min Min to challenge something like that unless she's got the chakra mount, because most other things are going to be slower or just going to lose that trade outright because she will get knocked back. It's really a curious matchup. We got a nice forward air here, charging up the fully charged projectile. She tries to bring herself up towards the end, thinking that they waited out most of it, but they didn't. And Min Min is going to fall. We got 2 stocks apiece here, both between Mateo and Tony Pajamas. Looking a little rough for Tony to try and take this whole thing, because Mateo's got insane momentum right now. Even if he does end up losing this next stock, he's got enough damage dealt. Oh, it doesn't matter. You counter the megawatt, you are gone. Absolutely dead. Mateo looking so strong.
That counter was so clean, and you can tell Tony Pajamas is trying their best to fight back in this one, but even on that up B, right, they have to linger for that long, but they snapped to ledge too early. You can only stay lingering in that tethered position for so long, and they just ran out of time. They were forced back to the ledge, and it's too early. That neutral B covered, and now, right, they get counter. That Sephiroth counter, one of, if not the strongest in the game. It's so very, very potent once you actually land it as a counter attack, even though the move will always come out. But here, 66 to 76, and Mateo, a couple of these flares have landed. That's a good smash attack. Don't tell me it kills. Oh, it's not enough yet. That is a rare circumstance. I feel like 9 times out of 10 that connects. Maybe if one more flare was on, would have done the trick. But Tony Pajamas is holding on here to Fisher Falls' last stock to get poked off stage, though.
141%. We're going the full charge blast. And Tony Pajamas is able to make it back. Mateo's looking so strong right now. The ledge trapping has been incredible. Tony Pajamas has not been able to play the game for the last, I want to say, minute almost. For amount of damage, amount of pressure. But that final back air, that final slice from Sephiroth is gonna take it. The villain of Final Fantasy VII will take it over Tony Pajamas to close it out. Fisher Spring is our victor of ECAC Spring 2023, taking it 2-1 in a best-of-3 set over Fisher Fall. But really, it's a congratulations to Fisher all around. An absolute testament to how talented their team is, and I'm sure there's so many more people in the back lines too that help up with organization, whether it be your esports director, coaches, fans, close friends, everyone that's involved on the esports side of thing, all deserve recognition for how much they've helped this whole kind of team truly come together. And well, in this case, they may have had to face off, but ultimately it seemed pretty lighthearted and pretty for fun, because they both know we're the best around, right? They are one of the same. They are siblings, they're family. It was really, really fun to watch. We saw so much chaos, so much variety, and that's it. That's all we get. That's crazy.
It was such a dominant performance, really all year round, from the side of both Fisher College squads. I mean, they entered as the number 1 and number 2 seeds, and you think, okay, even at the professional level for major traditional sports, right? Some of these some teams have that major breakout season, and you think, all right, well, they haven't played, the top team yet. It's the postseason. Wait to see what happens, right? And sometimes those teams that never find that or have to fight that adversity because just everything is going their way end up stumbling in the playoffs. But not these two. Fisher College, they are an experienced veteran group. And there's a phrase that I remember hearing a while back, and it was something along the lines of, greatness elevates. And that's what Fisher College has, right? They have a lot of top tier talent, and it rubs off when you're surrounded by great people. That talent, that what they bring to the table, it rubs off on you. And that's what happens here, right? These classmates, a lot of them in pretty similar programs, a couple of management majors, a couple of cybersecurity majors as well, right? When you hang around the talent and you get to experience, what it's like to play against some high level players, you can really learn and grow from it. And that's what everyone has done for the side of the Falcons, regardless of being on the fall or spring teams. They just have such depth to this program. It's fantastic to see what they've been able to put together, and what a honestly magic run it is, because to do this at this level for the ECAC, to have both teams be top seeds through the regular season and make it to grand finals, is an achievement that's unheard of in its own right.
Yep. Absolutely incredible. Looks like we're going to have one little more surprise, a little bit of tidbit of fun before we wrap this up for good. But we're going to throw ourselves over to a quick break, but we're going to have an interview with Fisher College before we close it all out. So we're going to toss ourselves over to a break. You guys need to stay here and listen to what they got to say, because, of course, it's definitely worth something if they made it this far. We'll see you guys soon.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise. Oh, and it's gonna jumped into it.
Corner judge is good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Fisher College walks it in.
Toy Blank is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big.
That's so cute. UCF, and it's really cute. So I'm gonna move down here. How do we feel? The odds for UCF? What are we thinking?
They got it. No, we got this. We got it.
Go Knights, charge on.
100%. My friend Nick is behind you. He's gonna record it. Don't look at him. You'll ruin the shot. Don't look at him. Come on.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
My smile's probably really creepy. I was just being weird.
Oh, I love being in the shadows, though. Big shout out to the shadows.
We could interview Dilly just because I think he's handsome. You weren't supposed to hear it.
Here's the thing about the event. I'm the greatest that's ever lived.
Literally true. I know him.
I think everyone knows that. I think everyone's aware of that.
Hey, do you have a VIP access badge on?
I actually have an all access.
Oh, an all access. I thought it said VIP access.
And that's only available for the best.
That's true. He's right. That's a main stage TO right there.
If this goes live, I'm suing everybody.
It's all right. A video of me. The first clip is me saying, "Don't put that in," and then it was the first. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Oh, you're recording already? Great. So this is this is Bay State versus UCF. I believe something that we saw yesterday on day 1 of the tournament, but instead we're gonna have that run back here. I think they're fighting for a spot in grand finals. Anarchy, one of the best Greninja players in the United States, currently struggling against a Terry. Terry notorious for that DLC privilege, being a very strong character with some very strong abilities. Greninja, not so much, considered one of the weaker characters in the game. A Falco player, one of the best in the United States, and he just got spiked by a Terry. Same Terry that took out Anarchy literally minutes ago. UCF still up by 2 stocks. This guy is looking to rip this team apart single-handedly. That is, I mean, nuts, to say the very least. Absolutely absurd. That was a disgusting spike. I cannot believe that happened. Will you hold the microphone so I can sign this? Sorry.
For context, he's got a fan. He's actually signing something. He's so excited.
to not hear my voice for 2 minutes. For 30 seconds, maybe. What was it like? Probably bliss. I was signing a mouse pad, which is really cool. I've never done that before. Nobody's ever asked me for a signature, so I'm going to start blushing, but I'm really excited about that. And then he wants a picture. Can you take a picture of us? I said, is it bad? She went, no. I'm going to go ahead and take that as a yes.
Turns out I can't tie a tie sitting down.
What do you think is the appropriate face-to-screen ratio for a Valorant player?
Face to screen, like how close I sit?
Yeah, like how close should a player sit?
Personally, I play really, really close. I think it depends on your eyesight, but for me, I like playing close because it helps me focus on my crosshair.
Is the value of sitting close, the crosshair being the only thing in your line of sight?
Yeah, that's pretty much the main benefit of it.
It's so funny how close some of these guys sit. Oh my goodness. What do you think is the healthy face-to-screen distance for a Valorant player?
I think it's all kind of personal preference. I guess I would consider myself like pretty close when I play because I like to like zone in on my crosshair.
It is the second person to say that. It's all about the crosshair. And then what's up with the horizontal keyboard?
I don't know, like it just kind of fits like the form when I'm close to monitor. Like I don't know, it might sound cringy, but I like to like be one with my gun, you know?
No, bro, I feel it absolutely. What is going on, everybody? I am here with some UCF fans. How are we feeling about UCF? Let's go! Let's go! We've got a bunch of UCF fans in the crowd right now. UCF, they're up by a single game. They're looking to find their third and possibly final, secure a spot moving forward. Things looking great for them against Northwood here today. This guy's playing Minecraft right now. He keeps double building instead of placing the dirt. Pressure's on, man. Everybody's watching. Just kidding. Just me. Cameraman's not over here. Just kidding. He's behind you. There's actually always cameras on you if I'm around. Do you double build all of those? No excuses, bro. Your college esports Minecraft team absolutely rolled. L after L here. Let's hope UCF has a little better luck on stage, huh? What is going on, everybody? I am Septilence. I have the honor of welcoming you to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup here in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, that was good. That was good. Good content, good content.
Hello everybody and welcome back to ECAC Plays of the Week, and it's not just any week this time, it is the playoffs. We've got 8 incredible clips and I'm super excited to jump into them. My name's Septilence. I hope you're ready to hop into the ride because it's going to be a great one. When I found out this was clip number 8 of the playoffs highlight reel, I was flabbergasted because this is an incredible moment from Swift on the side of RPI. It's not just 1 or 2 elims to win the round and put RPI in a better position. It's all 5 coming from a single.
Welcome back, everybody. If you just missed it, the ECAC Grand Finals of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate just wrapped up with 2 teams of Fisher College up against one another. Fisher Spring ends up taking it over Fisher Fall 2-1 in a very interesting set with a lot of unique character choices and unique play styles. But nonetheless, it was still a fun set. We all had fun at the end of the day. And I mean, who can blame people for having fun, right? That's why we're here. But we do have a very, very special guest with you guys here to give us our next interview. And it's going to be the assistant director of esports at Fisher College, Aaron. So please welcome Aaron. There he is.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
Good. Good. An interesting game, to say the least.
Don't blame me there. How does it feel in terms of like Smash Bros potency and how much Fisher has shown? I mean, honestly, it's not just Smash. Fisher has been so strong in so many different esports, which is mind blowing, but we'll keep it Smash for now. All the work and all the talent you guys have kind of garnered in. What's the selection process kind of like for the teams and the players? Is there a lot of like in-scene involvement required? Is it just kind of like tryouts? How does this flow back and forth go?
Yeah, so honestly, I do a lot of the Smash recruiting. It's a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. That's why you see me kind of talk on a lot of these Smash ones. Yeah, I'm the assistant director, but I'm also kind of considered like the Smash in particular. A lot of the times I'm, looking on Twitter, I'm looking on Smash data, I'm looking on, at a lot of majors and pretty much people that are scoring well. I reach out to them and say, hey, look, this is what we have to offer. This is what we can do. If you're looking to get your education, this is a fantastic opportunity. And, we work with our students from there. So a lot of our kids, they are ranging from students that are looking to go to school as well as looking to go back to school. So we don't just have, 19, 18-year-olds, right? They're like really young coming in. We have like plenty of students that are kind of in their late 20s, and this is just another opportunity for them to express themselves, right? So honestly, just a massive shout out to these kids. They put in so much work day in and day out. I know it was a little more of a fun match tonight, and sometimes you do need those. But honestly, like to get to where they have been and to have multiple teams that are kind of contesting for these top spots, like the ECAC, is honestly a privilege, and I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job, and their name echoes through the halls for a reason. They're an incredible team. I know you guys went for outreach. That's actually super awesome, and that definitely helps garner the talent that you guys would need to get to places like these as far as this. In terms of like the presence that you guys have made throughout this circuit in particular, throughout the years, is there a certain kind of game plan that you guys lay out? Is there a certain expectation? Do you guys like, we've been champions before? Is there a bit of cockiness, overconfidence? Do you have to rein in the team? How is the kind of general atmosphere for how people approach matches on, a champion team like this?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times we are doing a ton of scouting for the teams that we're individually playing. We kind of have an internal ranking system, myself and a couple of the other coaches, and a couple of other people that work in Smash. We kind of have our own like global power rankings that we put together. So a lot of the times, we will say like, oh, okay, this team has 2 people that we recognize. This team has 1 person that we recognize. This team has 3 people that we know and recognize, right? So, all right, like who do we need tonight? Who are we going to need that like to counter specific characters? We play NJCU a ton just in other leagues. Hydra is a fantastic player for Palutena. So a lot of times it's like, all right, what do we need to counter Palutena? Right? When Northwood and we played with King K. Rool and how good Copal is online, it's like, okay, we have Sonic for, the fall roster. You have G Extreme for the fall roster, right, with Pikachu. But even for the other roster, it's like, okay, we have Falco, right? And we have Moxie on Wolf, and so we have people with reflectors, right, that are really good into him. So pretty much we do look at what other schools or rosters are like, and then we look at what we can kind of have, and we go from there. A big thing for me, and what I did do with these 2 rosters in particular, is I did try to like snake draft them, not necessarily for ECAC. I know that I wanted to keep them separate because of CECC bids. But for a lot of the other leagues, and what we will be doing for CECC is we'll actually try and keep the teams as even as possible. So we internally rank the students and then, put number 1 on one roster, 2, 3 on the other, 4 on 5 on one, and we go back and forth like that. So we look to do that too, just as we expand into more teams. We do have a lot of students that are coming in for this fall. I know that we have some Smash news that it's either supposed to drop this week or next week. I can't remember. I think it is this week. For another really big name player that we're really excited to just have him on campus for the fall. So, we're always happy and excited in bringing on new students and giving, new players these opportunities.
That's awesome. I am super excited to see who the new roster drop is. I'll definitely be having my eyes pasted onto social media channels to see what's coming. So I take it away.
Yeah, so you mentioned a little bit about how you in particular have a kind of taken on the role of coach for the Smash scene at Fisher College. I'm curious, between the 2 rosters, is there a lot of difference in how you coach the 2 different squads, or what are the differences between how you approach Fisher Fall and Fisher Spring?
Yeah, I mean, for me, a lot of it with the 2 rosters is letting them just work with each other, right? These players, they're you have Sonics, who's like top 10 in the world right now. You have Moxie, who's top 200 in North America. And then all these other players, they're on the top like 400, right? When you kind of look at a lot of the Smash rankings, or I think it's Smash ranking, or Smash 1000, I think is the rank, right? When you kind of look at them for the deeper rosters. So a lot of times it's just them working together with one another, right? Just, they're seeing certain things within the matchups. Some of them are playing in different matchups. They're all from different regions too. Like Jerry, we've even had a really long discussion about how he plays Brujo all the time on K. Rool. So if we have a K. Rool, like, even though it's an unconventional counter, he typically just ends up coaching the team and just being like, all right, you need to do this. You need to watch out for this for K. Rool. Like, here's all the data that you need for this character, right? Kiwi, she duos with Pelka at like all of these big events. She's duoing with Apollo Kage at Gateway Legends in June or whatever that it's June or July, whatever time July. That's right. And it's because so she's played with Snake like a ton, right? So she has a lot of Snake matchup experience from one side of it, and then you also have Indecisive who actually plays Snake, right? So if we have these different characters that players are going against, honestly, they're just giving each other advice, and that's kind of the best case scenario. So for me, it's mostly just making sure, like, all right, we're showing up on time, we're coming in, we're keeping good mental, we're talking about it, right? We're talking about matchups, talking about stages, and it's mostly I'm more of a facilitator. They're really more of the teachers.
That's fair assessment. I guess it's interesting to hear kind of how different schools go about and how different kind of coaches go about the different styles. I'm curious if can you give us some insight on kind of like what the locker room is kind of like, what the kind of behind the scenes look of like in terms of culture building and how the players and students kind of interact with each other week in and week out to kind of get ready for these matchups.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these kids are so like grateful in everything that they're kind of putting together, right? A lot of them, they're here because, they're trying to get their education, but they're also here because of the passion that they have for their craft. Right. So a lot of the times you just see these discussions and you see them talking about it. It's like, they're even though they're having fun, they're talking about like, like niche Bowser Jr. tech. And it's like, I'm looking at it like on my second monitor and I'm like, I didn't even know ND knew that. You know what I mean? Right. Like, sure. All right. You want to play BGR tonight? That's fine. Like, normally being Pokemon trainer and other characters. So, stuff like that, they're going to be very friendly with one another, and they like to kind of they keep talking where it to like how did you not take more on Yoshi is the easiest character. I'm reading this right now, like just trying to look at my monitor. So again, they're very kind to one another, but they're also still competitors at heart. So if you're going to mess with them on the competition level, they're going to be able to like, okay, let's turn it on, it's time to get going, let's full go on in. Let's keep talking. Let's keep this communication open, and let's get this W.
And my last question for you is: I know the year's not done for you because obviously both teams are now qualified for the tournament in Arlington in early May. But do you have a kind of favorite moment from the ECAC run that both of these teams have gone on?
It's a good question. I know. Honestly, like seeing a lot of like the early game matches, I know that we did have a couple of like fun picks in there. I know Tony's been picking up Piranha Plant, and that's like a character that's near and dear to my heart just because how funny it is. But man, on the spot, I'm trying to even like think. So I know seeing like the strength of the ECAC grow, I think that was honestly like a really cool moment too for me this semester. Previously, we had looked at, I've been in the ECAC now for pretty much since the beginning. I was at 2 other schools, 1, 2, I was at like 3 other schools before Fisher now. And even back then, I kind of saw this big opportunity, and you would look at kind of like where Smash was and compared it to like some of the other leagues and wasn't necessarily as strong. Then you had teams that started coming in, like NJCU. Then you had our roster that we put together. You had there was a couple of other rosters that I'm blanking on right now. Wayne State has always been really strong. IWU was really strong when they came in. They have a purple logo, and like the name of the college is escaping me, but they were really strong too. And then now you're really starting to see that there's more and more schools that are coming in that are really bringing on some of that hyper talent. You have Northwood that has, a really stacked roster, another like top 5 team right there in the country. Pace has Jules. I didn't even know they had the Jules, the Bayonetta player. They're a phenomenal, Bayonetta, right? Like, again, there's just so many schools. MPG signed to University of Delaware. I don't know if UDel is still in the ECAC, but I know they've had teams in the past. So again, just having so many different teams that are coming in and seeing that high level of investment that we're now seeing in Smash, as well as just so many other games too. Boise State, when they joined ECAC for Overwatch, and the previous year, my guys, they didn't like drop a point, right, in the fall semester, and now it's like, okay, they got to play Ball State, they got to play Boise State, right? You got to play so many like strong rosters that are kind of getting put together. Even Rainbow Six, it's not an easy matchup for them against Muskingum tonight, and I think they even dropped map 1 against them. So seeing the talent just grow in collegiate is so important, and is honestly probably my favorite thing about this whole thing. And I know that's not a moment, but kind of answers the question.
Yeah, we were talking about that before, about kind of like the overall scene involvement and how it kind of connects to collegiate. Like I know, for example, a couple of Texas teams have a bunch of ex League of Legends pros as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like I go to UTD, we have definitely as our coach and as a player at one point, right? And so just thinking about like the players I've seen on Fisher's College, I'm like recognize these names, players like Sonics and Moxie and Kiwi, like people that are just involved in their local scenes, are already part of the community, now integrating with the collegiate side of things, and that's just kind of elevating everything. And we were talking about, one day hoping to cultivate talent where like people actually start off in collegiate and then end up becoming some really big top name player within the scene. I think would be super, super awesome to see. So who knows? We're definitely working towards it. Everyone is getting so much better, and the old Titans have to keep working to stay up there because there's so much new blood that's crawling at their throne.
Yeah, and sorry not to interrupt, but you do kind of see that too right now with like Michigan State. Michigan State's had Crash and Suspect, where like Crash was low Michigan PR, Suspect would like never made PR, and now Crash is like 4th in Michigan and Suspect is now 10th. I was really impressed with just them kind of coming up, but like they started at Michigan State. Like they didn't really go to too many locals. They were kind of like O2ers at those locals, but now they're in their sophomore, junior years over there, and they've been really that's one of the teams that I'm kind of like been really impressed with. I want to see how they're going to do down in Arlington, because I know they've played Northwood a couple of times, and there's been like one was 5v5 and Arlington is 4v4, and that's a whole different story, right? Like, it depends on like the depth of the roster. So I'm really interested in kind of seeing them. Winthrop too has like come up like really heavily. They've had a couple people that they started at Winthrop, but they even picked up people from the South Carolina PR, No Tag and CJ Frozen. So like there's a lot of really good players that are coming into collegiate, but there are already a couple of those examples of players that started collegiate and are really growing.
That is fantastic to see. I'm super excited to see where that goes. I know we mentioned CECC finals is like the really big thing that a bunch of teams are looking forward to. But in terms of this season and other circuits, what else is kind of forward here for Fisher College? Are there any other like bigger events you want to travel them out to? Whether it just be like Smash Majors, or is there more collegiate oriented things coming forward? What's in Fisher's future?
Yeah, I know I've mentioned it on the cast before, and we do pay for our student entry fees. That's like part of their like scholarships to come here for Smash. So we do pay for entry fees to go into majors. We do help them with travel. We do help them with flights and hotels, right? Like to get to majors. So I know a couple of them are going to Gateway. They're really excited for that one. I know there's a huge pot bonus for that one. A couple of them are going to Gommel as well. I know like Moxie and Sonics are both looking at that one. I know too, like we have NECC and we do have NACE, both of those leagues are this week. Like NACE is on Thursday, NECC like NECC winter finals is Fisher versus Fisher as well. So
oh my goodness.
So that one, that's winners finals. So again, it is double elimination. So like they'll have to kind of do the run back to get first and second there. But again, NACE is Fisher versus California school. I can't remember the name. So honestly, they have so many other tournaments that they're playing in, so many other things they're doing, and honestly, they're really excited for Texas. I think that one will be a really big push, just because there is like a singles tournament for there. There's a cruise tournament for there, and I know that a lot of them, like, they haven't gotten a lot of chances to travel. They've kind of traveled to majors around and near them. Some of them haven't traveled to Texas, so they're all just really, really excited for that in 2 weeks, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll be there. I'll be happy to see all you guys there. It's going to be super exciting. But thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you for the interview. Huge congratulations for Fisher taking the top 2 spots here of ECAC, and clearly their presence is definitely felt in all the other circuits they're involved with as well. Again, just congratulations. Great work to everyone. Give us our warmest and best regards here from Esports U about for everyone on the Fisher team, both on fall and spring. It's been a great ride. Thank you so much for joining us, Aaron.
Thank you.
All right, so that about puts the end of our run as well. all these months, all these semesters, all this hard work paying off again here to the latest iteration of ECAC's spring 2023 finals here of Fisher College taking the first and second place spots. How are we feeling at the end of all this, Sawyer? How are we doing?
I'm feeling good. I mean, this is again, we came into today, wondering what would kind of happen here, and obviously it was, it's a complete wild card, but Fisher College, I mean, hearing, you heard it, right? There's just so much to be seen from the collegiate scene. Everyone's on the rise, and to see Fisher College continue to stand tall amongst them, I mean, they are becoming the kind of original dynasty of college esports with the number of hardware that they're acquiring. It's so fun to see how this will all unfold, and there's so much to look forward to. It's just awesome to see overall.
Absolutely. We love to see a monarchy rise, and then we love to see it fall. So, but that's much later in the storyline. Let's create it first. Let's get it built, and then we'll see who rises up to the challenge. But that about does it for us. That's going to be the end of the tournament here. ECAC is going to wrap up first Super Smash Bros. Ultimate anyway, but do keep your eyes and ears open and peeled for all the events coming to Esports U. I know they're going to be finishing out a lot of other circuits and finals throughout the week, so definitely keep yourself pasted for that. And of course, we cannot forget the big kahuna of the CECC finals on May 5th to 7th in Arlington, Texas, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. May Madness is coming to Texas. There's so many events. There's so many teams there. We just had Fisher's assistant director tell us that they've got teams coming. They've got all these other teams that they're looking forward to playing against also coming. And that's just in the realm of Smash. Can't forget about things like Overwatch, Valorant, League of Legends, and Rocket League. Huge shout outs. This is a little bit biased on my end too, but to the Open Omega Strikers tournament that's going to be there. So if there's anyone that's already competing in an esports event that wants to hop on by on Sunday and enter the free tournament for Mega Strikers, it's got a pretty sizable pop bonus, and the game is looking super awesome. So definitely check that out. But a bunch of other side events too. The singles bracket for Super Smash Bros. As mentioned, I believe that's also free entry. There's so much going on at that event. So if you guys are interested, pull up to collegiatesmg.com and get more info about what's going on there, and also pick up your tickets. I know I'm going to be there, and a lot of people from the Esports U broadcasting team are also going to be there. It's going to be super, super exciting.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see, but that's going to be it for us here, I think, at Esports U. And once again, thank you to Esports U for allowing Combo and I on the mic. We love doing this week in and week out. And I guess that's really it for the ECAC. Congratulations again to Fisher College. And Fisher College Spring, they officially win 2-1 over Fisher College Fall. And that's really it. Combo, anything else to tack on?
Drop us follows too. We both put in a great amount of work. We're doing pretty good for ourselves, I would say. So you can find me over at Combo FGC, and Soy's over at Always Soy-san J Sport. If you got any feedback, you want to talk to us about anything, any questions, we're always open to it. But that about wraps it up. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Try and find them. Do they go into the tank? Yes, they do. Oh, they come out. That's the ace for Swift. They're able to make it happen all themselves, and they will get this one for free for RPI.
Clip number 7 tells a pretty amazing story as well. Ball State already up 2 games in a best-of-7 series, and they find themselves tied 2-2, less than a minute left on the clock. Perhaps a little bit more pressure than they'd want there in game number 3, but it's Daffy from Ball State that takes all the pressure and immediately relieves it from the team.
Find it back, pass to Daffy, bar down and in. Ball State will not be denied a game.
And the crossbar has been doing a heck of a job here for Hartford, keeping the ball out of the net, but it only lasts for so long as Daffy's able to get...
Playoffs call for one thing: unconventional plays and crazy moments. And I knew this was going to be a crazy moment when the clip started with me looking at the casters. This stock comes through so fast from Northwood that we couldn't even get just the gameplay in the clip. It wouldn't be long enough. It is an incredible moment from SGP, and it just goes to show how good Northwood continues to be.
See, seconds into the match, and SGP's got a spike, a 0 to death at that.
Brother, that was literally one down here. After Fireball, bro, please. Oh, and now we're playing this dangerous game at the ledge.
For clip number 5, we're jumping into one of my favorite games, and we get the chance to see one of my favorite ultimate combinations in the game right now. The Roadhog ultimate and the Kitsune Rush from Kiriko, so unbelievably strong, and it really helps Newberry kind of snap back in a moment where they were struggling to gain their footing once again.
To deal with that Nano Blade, you really just have to get around the protection Suzu and the Sleep Dart.
Well, there's the whole hog, there's the Kitsune Rush, and there goes the lives of Alfred State. Depressus is going to find a third. That's going to be a team kill. Kitsune Rush plus whole hog. Overpowered, I swear.
Clip number 4, not quite on the podium, but still very, very impressive. Emery and Henry versus St. Lawrence going head-to-head. Both teams, 2 players left, but Hispanerd wants to clean up their opponents as quick as humanly possible, and quick they certainly were.
Yeah, little in fact, PhD actually stands for pretty heavy dude, because Dr. Mario might as well be ahead with how he hits and how hard he can be to kill sometimes. The fact that he has Mario's hitboxes, his get off the tools, and these kill confirms at red, like I said, throw confirms.
At the beginning of this video, I talked about the individual presence a single player can have to make or break success for their team. Keller from Fisher College proves that point in its entirety by dropping a 4K against Ball State University and removing any iota of wind from their sails on Kings Row.
They could potentially use to be able to make something happen here. Now Ravenstrider is going to use the Kitsune Keller! 2 kills inside of the oh my word, inside of the Dragons, and now they're looking for a 4K.
For our silver medal spot, our second clip here in the highlights of the playoffs is going to go to none other than Lackawanna. They have peppered themselves in these highlight reels week after week, and when they entered this upper bracket round 1, they immediately wanted to send the message they were there to win.
That's a big reason why Barton shouldn't be feeling too hard done by if they lose this series. That's a beautiful play.
And our number 1 gold medal clip of the ECAC playoff highlights is a beautiful moment from Hybrid, one that left my jaw on the floor. Let's see if the same goes for you.
For the team, it means a lot, right? Hybrid
lurking
in front, annihilate Forgiving, yeah!
Blows up that entire push.
And as much as I hate to say it, folks, this is the final ECAC top plays of the week here for the fall split. It's a sad moment, and I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to sit through this with you week after week and really highlight these individual players, because as great as the team play can be, it's awesome to see these moments where one person can make or break such an incredible moment for their team. I have been Septilence, you have been wonderful, and rocking through all of these weeks with me, getting to see all these wonderful moments, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the spring. But until then, check your posture, drink some water, don't forget to love each other, and I'll see you on the other side.